Ladies and gentlemen, after what feels like 4 years, welcome back to the Kings of the South podcast and NFC South podcast. We are your hosts. That is the illustrious TJ right there. I'm your boy, your man, Corey. You know what I'm saying? We're back after hiatus, hiatus that we didn't really expect, but that's life. TJ, buddy,
That is like
it's been too long, man. How you doing?
it's been a long ass time, man. It's been like 4 weeks.
I know, man. Hey,
I'm doing good, man. Went to
man.
Vegas, got
Ooh,
tatted,
hey, something slight.
uh, something slight,
Hey,
I've been
man.
living life.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And people who want to know, like, hey, what took you guys so long to record? What's up? What's happening? Um, Short answer is I have a 2 year old and I have a 5 month old. You can't do
Dude,
much of anything.
every day for like
Yeah,
almost 4 straight weeks.
yeah. They're like, hey, I'm getting on, I'm getting on. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not getting on.
Literally, to give some short context, I would literally talk to Corey in the morning or
Mhm.
afternoon and be like, "Hey, we recording tonight?" He's like, "Yeah." And then like 9 o'clock rolls around, and once it gets to like 10 o'clock, I'm like,
Yeah, it's
"Yeah, it ain't
over.
happening."
It's over. It's
And
over.
this happened every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the kids are in bed now and daddy ready to go to work. So, without further
Let's do
ado,
this.
this
Let's.
episode, folks, you're not unless you're living under a rock, you already know what time of the year it is. It's draft season, baby. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yes,
Yes,
the draft is
yes,
about what, 4 days away now, buddy?
yeah. This Thursday.
Oh man. So
Yeah,
you guys wasn't hurting for draft content while we were out.
yeah.
You got it elsewhere, just like we got ours elsewhere. But we're here now, and we're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about team needs on both sides of the football. We're going to talk about one player on offense and on defense you would love to see in the NFC South and on the four different teams. So let's kick it off with the reigning champs, man. We got to respect them. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Uh, Team needs. Well, they did a really good job of hammering away at team needs in the off season. Um, of course, I mean you can never have too many pass rushers, so I would put that at the
Yeah.
top of the board after losing uh, uh
Shaquille Barrett.
yep, Shaq Barrett. I knew it was Shaq. I didn't know the last name. I had a brain fart. But yeah,
Also,
Shaq.
too, corner because they traded Carlton Davis.
Yeah, but they also got McCollum though, and they feel real strongly about him. But uh,
That's true.
it should be on the list. It could be on the list.
Yeah, I think they
Um,
can use depth because I don't know
mhm,
if Jamel Dean's going to be back after this year.
yeah. Um, Also, like you can never have too many good offensive linemen. You need a new center
Hmm.
for sure now
Yeah,
since the
yeah,
retirement of Ryan Jensen. So yeah, it's a lot of options, a lot of ways they can go. There's no wrong answer in this draft. I feel like we're going to say that a lot about the NFC South this year in the
yeah.
draft. There's really no wrong way to go.
No,
Team needs are plenty, and there are a lot of strong answers in the draft. So, uh,
yeah.
players I would love to see on the Bucks. Edge rusher. What did they pick? They picked what in the 20s, 23, something like that. 20.
I can look it up. I'll look it
Yeah.
up.
Because I want to be at least somewhat realistic and give them someone who would be in that range.
Let's see.
Hmm. I think they're 20, 20 something.
Uh, they picked 26.
26. Wow. They had a good year.
Yeah, they're higher than I realized. Well, they did make it to the divisional round.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so well, this is easy for me. Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson. Put him
Yeah,
in that pass rush rotation with Yaya Diaby and Joe Tryon Sharenka. And
Hmm.
yeah, you cooking with gas, man. Uh
Yeah.
Offense.
I said they go center.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
can I say who I was gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jackson Powers Johnson. I feel like he would be a good scheme fit. He's very versatile. He can play guard as well. Um, I just think they need to get younger on the offensive line. I mean, they have Tristan Wirfs, but besides that, I'm not a big fan of their guards. Um, and I mean, obviously they need center. He is a center in this draft. So,
Mhm.
but if you ever had injuries, I mean, you can move him around to different positions. I'd say Jackson Powers Johnson offensively.
Mhm.
Um, I would say so. Chop Robinson's a good shout, but I would also mention TJ Tampa corner. I mean, TJ Tampa would be perfect for Tampa.
Oh my God.
Just the name
Uh,
itself is just
uh,
it's a must. It's a
his
must.
his agent would, never get off the phone with, endorsements and t-shirts and all. The merchandise would be
Dude,
crazy.
money
So
to be made.
yeah.
Money to be made.
All right. Well, let's switch gears to the good old New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, yeah. They
Let's
have
see.
quite a few holes in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Let's where do we want to start? Um, Offensive line, of course. Ryan Ramczyk may not return this year. They lost a couple of their offensive linemen in free agency, and they don't really have an answer to replenish those needs. Also, they need edge rusher bad. Uh,
Yeah.
Cam Jordan should not be a every down starter anymore in today's NFL.
Mm-mm.
He need
No.
to be a two down starter, or keep him fresh, keep him in a rotation. So when it's a gotta
Third
have it
down.
third down, I gotta have it. You can bring him off the edge, and yeah, a lot of question marks in New Orleans, but they have an
They picked
opportunity to,
14th.
yeah,
14th in the first round.
they have to go offensive line. They have to, they have to.
Hmm.
If one of the
There's too
tackles
many
are good,
question marks.
yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no, no,
but yeah,
you
there's too
good.
many question marks at left tackle and right tackle. There's rumors going on now that Ryan Ramczyk might not even play this year.
Yeah, I have it on good authority that he's not going to play this year. Um,
Yeah, and then the guy they drafted last year. I always forget his name because he's not that good.
Trevor Penning.
Trevor Penning. He had a lot of hype going into the draft last year. We both remember that. But he has not lived up to it based off of year one's performance.
Hmm.
Now he could turn it around, but I don't think he's a true left tackle. I think he should play right tackle. Um,
I got a
I think he'd be better suited for right tackle in my opinion.
hot take, buddy.
Lay it on me.
I just don't think he's a good NFL tackle. Right tackle, left tackle, it doesn't matter. He's going to get beat with
Move him into
speed.
guard
Yeah, he's got bad feet. He got bad feet. Bad feet is
because who's their
hard to
left guard right now?
hell if I
They
know.
they got rid of Andrus Pete.
Mm,
They still have Cesar Ruiz. They still have Eric McCoy, center and right guard.
mm,
I mean, you could kick him inside to left guard. I don't know who their starting left guard is. I'm be honest. I haven't really paid too much attention to their
mm,
offensive line
mm.
transactions. But I mean, in the greater scheme of things, they need to get younger anyways because Ramchek's not getting younger. And if Trevor Penning is not the answer at left tackle, they're gonna have to figure that out. So I
Mhm,
definitely agree. Tackle is the move, especially at pick 14.
mhm.
You should be able to get
One
one
of
of
them.
the top
Yeah,
tackles.
yeah.
Yeah.
This should be
So
Amarius Mims territory. It should be uh
yeah,
what's my other guy?
JC Latham,
JC Latham, Fuaga. Uh, it should be
Olufushanu.
yeah, yeah, because I've been hearing he may drop because of his hand size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard he might fall to the back end of the first round, like late first,
Mhm.
early second. And I think that's
Mhm.
crazy because
Yeah,
about 3 or 4 months ago, he was a top 10 projected pick, and now he's
yeah.
projected to
I
go late
I
first.
still don't think he's. I think he's gonna go in the range of 10 to 18 because he's too talented
Yeah,
to fall that far out.
he should. Yeah, he
Yeah.
should be a top 20 pick.
Uh, Defense. Um, Probably Jerry Verse. And if I'm a betting man, I think the New Orleans Saints will just say, the hell with our offensive line. We're good enough, and we're gonna draft an edge rusher. If I was a betting man, that's what I put my money on right now. Jerry Verse
Don't sleep
to.
on Latu either.
Hmm.
Latu would be a great pick for them, I think. He has a high motor, and
Hmm.
I think he could learn a lot from guys like Cam Jordan.
I
And
agree.
two, I think it's a valid point to before we start skipping ahead to the next team. I
Hmm.
think it's important to point out too that last year they drafted Brian Brzee from Clemson, a D
Hmm.
tackle.
Yeah.
I think it is a valid point that you made about getting younger on the defensive line, and
Hmm.
you got to start somewhere. We both know Saints are in cap hell,
Hmm.
so really the only way they're going to be able to build their roster is through the draft moving forward.
Hmm. And
Um,
also, you know, the receiver is also a sneaky need because outside of
yeah.
Olave, I mean, you have A.T. Perry who looked promising at times in his rookie year, but you know,
Hmm.
can he handle a full season, workload and be dependable week in, week out? We don't know yet. So far, so good, but you need some more players. I would say you probably need some more veterans, but you also need an element of speed that they don't have outside of Shaheed.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got some questions, man. They got some questions.
I
Linebacker is a
mean,
question because they're old.
yeah.
Secondary is old and injured. They need to do something. They cut Marcus May. They, yeah.
Do you think they would be brave enough? This is very high. I think it's overvaluing the person. But you mentioned speed. Do you think they'd be ballsy enough to take Xavier Worthy at 14? I
No,
feel like that's a little too sweet,
yeah,
a little too rich for my
yeah.
liking.
It's just
I don't think he's a top 15 player.
well, I think he's talented enough, but I just don't think that's not what the Saints have ever done. They always draft meat and potatoes in the first round. I
Yeah.
think the one year they went with some sizzle and ended up biting them in the ass because they traded all those picks to ultimately end up with Chris Olave. And I bet they wish they can have some of those picks back, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but let's talk let's talk Falcons. Let's get it out the way. Um, we're My Falcons are in a better spot than they were in the past couple of years, but there's still some needs. Still need, some help on the receiver, in the receiver core. Not as much as I thought we were going to need due to the free agent acquisitions and the trade acquisitions and all of that. Offensive line is also always a need, even though, the starting five is good. Um, Defensive line, secondary, those are the biggest needs. If any, you listen to any draft show, if any of them say the Falcons' biggest needs are wide receiver, defensive line like edge or corner. It doesn't matter in what order. I would agree with it. You can make the case
Yeah.
for any of them to be the number one need. Um, so yeah, that's what I got. Maybe another running back, but in the later rounds because we got Bijan, but we did lose Cordero. So cornerback too.
Yeah. You get Tyler Algier. You got
Yeah,
Bijan and Tyler Algier.
yeah. We need a third. We need a third. That's why
I think adding to the offensive line wouldn't be bad just to have the depth.
Yeah.
I mean, not in the first round necessarily, but
Well, it depends on
like
who's there.
second or third round.
Yeah. It depends on who's
Is there
there.
any specific players that you'd be looking at for your team?
Uh, of course,
Because I have some specific ones for Carolina, just like kind of like what I did with Tampa Bay.
yeah,
New Orleans was kind of, they're. I just think they need talent. I
yeah,
think they
they can
need
go either
overall
way.
talent.
Yeah, they can go best play
Yeah.
available.
Hmm.
Uh, I wouldn't be mad at seeing Latu. I wouldn't be mad at seeing Dallas Turner. I wouldn't be mad at seeing Kenyon Mitchell. I wouldn't be mad at seeing Terrion Arnold. I wouldn't be mad at seeing Roma Dunze. I wouldn't be mad at seeing Malik Neighbors. Of course, I wouldn't be mad at Marvin Harrison Jr., but I doubt he'd be there at 8. Um, those players, Atlanta cannot disappoint me this year. I'm good with any of those options. Um, who they pick, it has to be, their flavor. I'm not mad at it. I'm not gonna scoff it. I'm not gonna poo-poo it. Um, yeah, give me any of those players, and I'm good with it.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. So if Atlanta burns this season,
Hey,
just know, just know Corey was confident with any pick they made.
I mean, we still need talent. I mean, we're not like a world beater because we got Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins. So, go BPA. BPA lines up with our needs now. So,
Let me
get,
ask you something. Before we move on to Carolina, and this just popped in my head, and I know it's not going to happen, but hypothetically, just
mm-hmm.
entertain me for a second.
Okay.
How would you feel as a Falcons fan? And I don't hate this idea. I know, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, this is not going to happen. I would be very shocked if it did, but I'm just getting spicy with my ideas here.
Mm-hmm.
What if Atlanta took JJ McCarthy at 8 and then he sat behind Kirk Cousins?
Well,
Because before you say anything, the reason I mention this is only because I think JJ is one of those quarterbacks in this draft that should sit for at least 2 years. Um, I just think that he's in a situation where he didn't really have an opportunity at Michigan to really show what he could do because I mean they had a great defense, they had a great run game. I mean we've discussed that before, so I'm not getting into that too much. But if we're talking destinations for JJ McCarthy and what makes sense for him, I don't think he should be thrown into the fire right away. I don't think he's ready. I think a team like Atlanta, who has a lot of weapons, you can sit behind a great veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Plus, two, you don't know what's going to come of this Achilles injury. Is he going to come back fully healthy? Is he going to be able to play the whole season? All these question marks, and you traded away Desmond Ritter already.
mhm,
So, what is the future looking like at quarterback for Atlanta? And obviously, over the next 2 to 3 years, it's going to be Kirk Cousins. But I'm
mhm,
saying if something were to happen, you have to look towards the future and a backup plan. And like I said, I don't believe this is a realistic idea,
mhm,
but in the grander scheme of things, it would make sense if they
mhm.
were in a position to do so. I don't think they are, though. I think there's other needs on this team. But I just wanted to kind of hear your take on that idea.
I mean, I wouldn't, I won't agree with it, but if that was the pick, I would, go about my everyday life. I would, turn the TV off, go to bed, get up, get in my car, drive to Pilot Mountain, go hiking. Once I reach the top of the mountain, I jump off because we wasted a first round pick of JJ McCarthy, a top 10 pick. I would end it all. Just jump off. No, I
Oh
wouldn't be
man.
opposed to a quarterback being drafted to my team, but you don't waste a prime asset like the number 8 overall pick on a quarterback to sit 3 years. That's crazy talk. Ooh, that would be the start of my villain arc. Uh, I just start, I be in the shadows. You just hear me laughing like before the cameras come on. You just see this.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, what do you say? We get to the I messed up my camera. Yeah, let's get to you Panthers, man, before I go crazy. The floor is yours, my friend.
Um, so I'm going to be very specific with my team, and I'm more so hitting on the second and third round. No particular order as to who we pick or how we pick them. But in the first three picks of ours, we have the first pick in the third round, we have the first pick in the second round, and then we have pick 39 in the second round as well. So
Oh wait,
six
wait, wait, wait.
picks.
I don't mean to stop you, but are we gonna address your needs first and then we jump into
Yeah, yeah,
that?
yeah. I'm getting that.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
getting that. I'm getting
okay,
that.
okay,
I
okay,
want to lay out the groundwork as to
okay.
what I'm trying to set up
All
here.
right, go
So
go
that's
off.
my
My bad.
groundwork.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
King. Go
I'm
off. Go
cooking right
off.
now,
Go
okay?
off.
I'm
Go
cooking.
off. My fault.
So, in the greater scheme of things, obviously, biggest need, wide receiver still. You got Deontay Johnson, but you really did not address the issue of having weapons. The one thing I will say that Carolina did a great job at was addressing the offensive line in free agency. But I still feel like there's a need for center because you don't know what Austin Corbett's going to be this year. He's coming off
Mm-hmm.
another injury to that knee. So I'd say wide receiver, center. You definitely need another edge rusher because Jadeveon Clowney is not the long-term answer. And then I'd say corner is a big need as well with us getting rid of Dante Jackson and we lost CJ Henderson. So we signed Dane Jackson, slot corner from Buffalo. We still have J.C. Horn. There's rumors of us signing Stephon Gilmore after the draft. But once again, that's not long-term answers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, J.C. Horn, I'm hoping I hope, fingers crossed, J.C. Horn can play a whole season, a full season,
A healthy
healthy.
season, yeah.
Yes, he has not done that, and he's coming into a contract year, coming up next year. So next off season, there's an option for his. Actually, I think they can pick it up this year. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it, but fifth year options coming up for them. I doubt they're going to pick it up. Um, so we'll see. But I would say those are the biggest needs: wide receiver, center, edge, and corner, and then obviously linebacker as well. Um, for me, I'm gonna start with offense. Um, oh, tight end's another need. We have so many needs. See, I skipped over tight end too. This is why Carolina's still in a rebuild year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wide receiver's tricky for me. There's so many good ones. I've mentioned a couple to you over the last few days that I wouldn't hate us drafting. I don't hate
Mm-hmm.
the idea of us drafting a wide receiver in the third round. I mentioned Johnny Wilson from Florida State, 6'7",
Mm-hmm.
230, big guy.
Yep.
Um, my favorite receivers that I would like in the second round, if we were to take one, is probably Lad McConkey or Troy Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd go that route. Center, I mean, give me Frazier, give me Jackson Powers Johnson. I'd take
Mm-hmm.
either one. Defensive side, um, I would say corner is a bigger need than edge. Because we have Wanham and we have Jadavion. Um, TJ Tampa, I like a lot. Trying to think. There's Lassiter from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
If Kool-Aid McKentry fell to the 33rd pick, I wouldn't hate that either.
Mm-hmm.
Um, obviously, I have to shout this out. My boy, Peyton Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
NC State, linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
We got to have someone who can cover Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I ain't gonna cap. Still ain't gonna be him, but I get it. I get it.
hey,
I
you
get it.
hope not, but it's okay.
Nah, nah.
My boy. Hey, Peyton Wilson, if you see this video, just know I'm a true fan.
Man, I respect. I
And
respect
I'd love
that.
to meet you one day.
Hey, I respect you, Peyton. You don't want it with Kyle, brother. Just letting you know that now. But yeah. I think it's kind of cold that, the only guy that visited a team 4 times in a draft cycle is getting no love from you, man. What's up with that?
Okay. Corey keeps on saying that I don't want Xavier Leggett. It's not that I don't want Xavier Leggett. I just don't know if he's going to be available at 33. I have a belief with all the hype surrounding him that he's going to go higher than we expect. I've even heard rumors lately of Detroit.
He's gonna be there. He's a Panther.
I'm just
You know
saying. I'm just
what
saying.
Thanos said. You know when he appeared on screen in Infinity War. You know, the start of it. He was like, you know, you can run from it, you can dread it, but destiny finds us all the same. And destiny, my friend, his name is Xavier Leggett. He will be found by the Carolina Panthers. It is
Hey,
written in stone.
mark my words. I'd be okay with it. I didn't mention him because I didn't think he'd be there. If he's there at 33, I'm cool with us taking Leggett.
Oh,
He does
Xavier.
have 1 year of production though. That's a little concerning. But besides that, I think he has the size, the speed. Um, he's a explosive big guy, and a lot of people compare him to DK. Um, I'm not gonna say DK, but that's the comp that people have made.
And
So
Carolina, Carolina Blue, man. From old
hey,
Rock Hill, South Carolina.
he would
He's
fit
staying
in.
home.
He would fit in perfectly.
He's staying home, man. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, that's all we got, folks. I don't know. You want to give, it's been a while. You want to give a down bad award or two out? Uh, you know, I don't know.
I
There hasn't been a
mean,
lot of football news. Oh, wait, how do we not give the down bad award to Rasheed Rice? What do we,
oh yeah, we've
what do
been
we,
gone that
we've
long,
been
haven't
going that
we?
long. Like,
Oh,
what are we
jeez.
doing? Rasheed Rice,
Yeah.
buddy, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? NFL, what are we doing? Kansas City Chiefs, what are we doing? Well, I know what you're doing. You're about to get this man a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
He could have killed innocent people,
At least
several
two
innocent,
people. At least two people.
and instead
And
of
you know he's being sued right now
hmm
for a
and
million dollars, which
yeah,
is
it's about to be more. It's about to
it's
go up.
chump change for
Yeah,
him.
it's
He's a football player,
yeah,
so
it's about to go up.
yeah.
My whole issue is not with the drag racing. I get it. We all been young. We all done some stupid stuff behind the wheel of a car. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
What bothers me is when you make that mistake and you crash and you hurt innocent people, instead of, you know, standing there facing the music like a man,
Yeah.
you walk away with your friends like a bunch of pussies, if I'm being honest. Like some cowards.
Yeah.
You walk away.
Yeah.
And
There was a kid in one of those
yeah,
cars.
yeah. And then you generate some BS apology, a BS statement from the words of your attorney. Like, be a man, bro. It's okay. The number one thing about being a man is admitting you made a mistake, owning up to it. We all make a
Yeah.
mistake. We all human. We all gonna mess up. But instead of me hiring somebody to apologize for me or to prepare my my apology for me, just yeah, it was stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize to the families I caused harm to. I apologize. I'm gonna, provide financial compensation to, um, ease your emotional comfort because that kid is probably scared to death to get back in a car and go on the highway.
Yeah. As a parent, I would be scared to like bring my kid anywhere ever
hmm
again for a while, you
If
know?
I was behind the wheel of that car and I got hit and I saw them running away, walking away, I'm gonna be on CNN. With
Hmm.
my kid in the car and they hurt,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bad day for everybody. I'm letting freedom ring. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm letting it go.
And
Um,
I know I heard the rumors about there was guns in the car and that's one of the reasons he fled or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I haven't been keeping up with it since the accident, but I know the majority of the details of the accident itself. And I mean, everybody's lucky to be alive, let's be
yeah,
honest. Thank God that people are, everybody survived, no one died, but it's just unfortunate that nowadays athletes just think that they're untouchable, and There's no consequences to what they do, and there should be.
Hmm.
As you've seen with the guy in the NBA who was gambling, betting, and he's banned for life.
Hmm.
He's an NBA player, and he's banned from the NBA for the rest of his
Hmm.
life. I know we're not an NBA channel, but just to mention that as an example, I think Rasheed Rice, deserves a very strong penalty.
He should be at
Because he
least
could have,
suspended for half the year, if not the whole year.
yes, yes,
You could have killed somebody.
I would say at least 9 games he needs to be
Yeah.
suspended, at least 9. If I'm Roger Goodell, I'm coming down hard on him because he needs to understand there's consequences to your stupid actions of you trying to impress your friends. That oh, I'm an NFL player, I can do what I want, I can speed in these Lamborghinis and all these fancy cars and cause a massive accident that had a child in one of the
Hmm.
cars, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Any
You know,
medical bills that come out of this, he needs to pay all those medical
oh
bills. He needs to
yeah.
pay all these people to fix their cars and he needs to pay for everything, in my opinion. I mean,
Hmm.
you and your friends get together and figure it out.
Hmm. And
So
people were saying, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal." Imagine you being
it
in the car
is.
with your child, and
Right.
some
That's my
asshole
thing.
speeds out of nowhere and rams into you, and your child is
Yeah.
hurt in the back seat, and you look up and
Right.
you see these people walking away from the scene of the
Hmm.
crime, just
I'm
walking
fighting
away.
somebody.
Yeah, I'm going to
I'm fighting
jail.
somebody.
I'm going to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't even have kids, and I would feel the same way. Like, I would not just scoff at that and be like, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal." No, it is because put
Mhm.
yourself in that situation as a parent, as a son, as a father, as a husband, whatever your case is, whatever your story is, put yourself in their shoes and imagine how you would feel if that was you that got hit
Mhm.
by Rasheed Rice and his friends
Mhm.
who were speeding and drag racing in broad
Broad
daylight.
daylight. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just dumb.
You know,
And
it's
athletes nowadays, I just wish athletes would stop being so stupid. Like, you make all this money. How about you be a better representation of how athletes need to carry themselves and not act like a jackass, is what I want to
mhm.
say. I'm saying it now,
Yeah.
jackass. I mean, it is
Mhm.
stupid. It's stupid. I've said it to you before. I don't agree with how athletes handle themselves, a lot of them. Um, Even the Deshaun Watson stuff. Like, I mean, we're not gonna get into it, but it's just another
But
example.
we don't have enough time.
No, but you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
You
just
put
another
yourself in that
case.
position when you're, at the level
You're
that you're at.
rich.
Yeah, you don't
You're
have to do stupid
famous.
stuff like that.
You're playing a sport for a career, and that's great. That's a great thing for you, but don't ruin it because you're being an idiot.
Mhm.
That's my piece on it. I just think it's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. The most important thing is I hope, he learns from this. I hope he learns that, for every action there's a reaction. There's cause and effect. There's
Yeah,
consequence to everything. And I hope this is the
yeah.
last time we have to hear about Rasheed Rice in a negative light. To the family and victims of that accident, I hope and pray you get everything out of life and out of Rasheed Rice that you can. Uh, it really that boils my blood, man. I can't imagine being in my car and some guy speeding, being driving erratic, hitting my car and injuring my son. And instead of checking to see if we were all right and calling 911, you haul ass.
You just walk away.
Mm,
You didn't even care.
yeah.
No compassion, no empathy.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that's all I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's in it. I'm getting mad. Well, folks, you're gonna see us every day this week. We're trying to figure out how to live stream the draft. No promises yet because we're kind of old, so we don't know how technology works like that. So if you got any
Not that
pointers,
old.
hey, we're in our 30s, Bucko. All right. You got any pointers, hit us up, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitter, email us everything. Whatever you got, let us know. And we'll see you next time, folks.
Peace.